What's going on, everyone? Hunter with Rebel Outdoors, and today we're going to install one of these guys. So the Jeep here did not come with the 4 built-in aux switches at all, which I was fine with because I know there's plenty of aftermarket options out there. And so I decided to pick up one of these little Auxbeam switches. Now, I'm pretty picky with colors, so I wanted to make sure I could have a little red backlighting or whatever. They do make ones where you can like really customize the colors and use the Bluetooth and all that, but this is not all that. This one just has a red backlight, and I think it retails for like 160, 150 bucks, something like that. So it's not bad priced by any means, but this kit actually does have a lot of things in it, so I'm going to show you kind of what all comes in it, and then we'll go ahead and get this installed. Of course, you have your little power cables, mounting plates, of course zip ties, a couple different wire connectors, 60 amp breaker, little baggie of hardware, some fuses to plug into your fuse box, mounting bracket, and of course your switch panels. I also do include this little like rubberized cap, so like, I don't know if you have this mounted in a bed or whatever. Your actual little fuse assembly, an instruction booklet that we're definitely not going to use. Of course, a sticker, and this neat little sticker panel so you can customize what switches are what. So I've already decided where I'm going to mount this guy, but that panel is not coming until tomorrow, so I'm going to get everything else installed. Then once I get that other panel installed, which I'll have a separate video on that, I will go ahead and put this guy in. That'll be the last step. It's a dirty engine because we use it. Alright, so the first step is kind of determining where you want it to go, and I think this is going to be a good location for me because it'll be easy to go wire from this to the battery, as well as when I run like all my accessories I can just kind of come back and around. You know, if I need them to go this way, go this side of the cowl, and then on the top of the engine bay there. So if you look here, you have your positive, your negative. We will deal with these a little bit later. But then you have your switch number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, amps. And these are different amperages. So you have 2 10s here, 2 20s, and 2 30s as well. Now up next you can see we have the little 60 amp circuit breaker here. So we're going to have a positive line going from the battery to this. We will mount this somewhere in the engine bay. And then from here down to the actual unit itself. And then the black is just going to go from the battery to the negative terminal. I need to redo my little winch cable job here. And as far as where I'm going to end up putting this, I'll probably just find a way to mount it kind of flush up here on top of the box. So now you can see we have the positive routed under to the breaker, which is off currently, to the positive terminal, and then the negative goes out underneath and over to the negative of the battery terminal. So now next to hook up this little guy right here, I've added that extra 20 in here from where I pulled it with the original 5 that was there. And on the Gladiators, it was right in between these 2 reds right there. So basically all you need for this one is a fuse that has AAC power, that way you're not draining your battery. Next up, we're going to take this little bit, and this end is what is going to plug in here for the AAC adapter. Helps if you do it the right way. And we are basically just going to crimp it onto this end right here. And now that should provide power to your panel. Now this long cable is what you will actually wire into the cab of your vehicle, and this will plug into the actual switch panel, and then this one just plugs in right here. Probably just do some adhesive tape on this. Gotta get this guy clean though. So basically on here, these, like I mentioned, are corresponding with whichever plug it is. You're just going to put the positive down here and the negative down here, tighten them down, and then that is how you get these guys wired up to, you know, whatever you want. Now this next part is going to pertain to us Jeep people, so if you kind of know already where you want to mount this thing, that's pretty much how this little install goes. But if you do have a Jeep and want to see how I'm going to do it, stay tuned. And basically what I'm going to do is run it past the cowl here, up, we're going to take the windshield off, up there, and then to the dash where I will, as I'm sitting in the Jeep, will have a multi panel overhead, and it is going to be mounted up to that. So you can see I kind of already got my ditch lights I somewhat recently installed here somewhat figured out. There's a little piece in the foam down here where this will actually pass through quite nicely. Now if you are doing like a rugged ridge snorkel, this whole idea is obviously not going to work. However, repeat it on the other side and I'm sure it'll be fine. So to show you guys how I ran this, took the cowl off, kind of went, pushed the windshield forward. I think I'm going to run that up through there. Ended up removing the little speaker cover as well as the little grab handles here. I did have to take off my little dash bar mount, but normally there's just those two 10mm screws right there. Just kind of pulled this trim down a little bit, and you can see I tucked it in all the way over to where it's going to go. So one thing I realized after putting all that back together, what you could really just do is take a pry tool and pry back all of this, that way you don't have to take anything off, and then just continue running it like I did. Now I'm just going to button up the windshield and all that, and we'll get these little ditch lights wired up. This little guy has made installs awesome. Got the windshield wipers on, now we just need to put the cowl back on. Trying to be mindful of my plugs and such here, my wires. And there we go, we got it mounted to this nice little panel right here. Tucked all the excess wiring underneath. I'll kind of try to clean this up a little bit here, but so far that should work out just fine. That'll wrap this short video up for you guys. Hopefully you found that useful, if not at least entertaining. Thumbs up is always appreciated. Subscribe for more awesome outdoor content. And until then, we'll catch you guys in the next one.